Lab 19 is VLOOKUP. Now, VLOOKUP, the V stands for vertical table. We have to call it VLOOKUP. We can't just call it lookup because there's another kind of lookup, which is HLOOKUP, which is horizontal table. Now, vertical table or horizontal table has to do with where the thing that you're looking up. In this case, it's it's a column, and the thing we're looking up in the table, and then what we return from the table when we find it is another column. If we were going to do horizontal lookup, we would be looking up rows and not from columns, from row. We'd find things across this way. So that's a different kind of table and a different type of lookup. So the idea of the VLOOKUP is you give it a value, which is always going to correspond to a value in the table in the leftmost column. So this is going to be our lookup column. We're going to look up something in there, and then we can return something from the table from one of the other columns. Well, this table's only got one other column. Well, it's got two columns. We could return from either of those two columns. So you could return the value that you found if you wanted. Now, what it's asking you to do is to go to cell F2 and put in a formula for the VLOOKUP, and that's going to find the details of the photo frame. So we enter in the name photo frame into the formula, and then it will return the value, and all of that is down there. So there's actually another worksheet which actually has the thing in there, and I'm going to work with that. So the formula is there, and this is there. So I'm going to do a little bit different than what they've done it. Let's just do this. So we're going to put in photo frame here. That's the thing that we're going to look up, and then we're going to look it up in the table here. We're going to use the VLOOKUP. So first thing we have to do is say, what is the thing that we want to find? Well, I'm going to try and find photo frame. Now, in the instructions, it showed you typing photo frame, but I think this is a bit better because it would allow us to change things. We've got a place to enter the thing that we want. That's a bit more natural. That's the way we'd usually do things. Then you have to highlight the actual VLOOKUP table range. And so you see we got the prompt at the bottom here telling us how to make this. So we do the VLOOKUP, then we the lookup value, which we put was that's my lookup value, then this table that I want, then the column index, and we start counting from the column which was the lookup column. So this is column 1. Let's find the value in column 2. And then we have to put, the very kind of important at the end there is we're going to put true or false. If we say true, then we'll accept approximate values. That's really only good for numbers, right? If we do a true in these, and we're looking up a string, then it will just return some random stuff for us. So we're going to put false because we're looking up a string, and so that's going to require us to have an exact value. Okay, so it's returning the value $9.99 because that is the price that is in the table along with photo frame. So now I want to show you why did I put photo frame like this, because I'm able to edit it easily there. And for example, put tset. Okay, we only use uppercase for the first word, and that gives me the right value for the tset. And so it's just a bit more useful than sort of coding it into the it wasn't a gift set, it was a gift basket. So it comes up NA because there is no gift set. Again, we make sure we get our capitalization correct and our spelling. So because I put false, it won't give me approximates. I must have the exact right value. And so if I was typing gift basket wrong, that's not going to work out for me. But we did get it in the end, and that was all we needed to do on Lab 19. You'll see that we've met all the instructions. We actually went beyond it. I think we did something was a bit better than what they sort of said there. So that's just me. I think it's better. All right, and then the next one here, we've got one. This is Lab 20. In Lab 20, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, These two don't really do much. I don't think we've got much to do in those. Maybe. Let's see. No, I think everything we're going to do is all the instructions are there in invoice and shipping. Now, this is really kind of a cool thing, and I kind of wanted to do this earlier, but I didn't do it. But if you look through the instructions there, you'll see that we've got this thing which is naming a range. When we name a range, we can use that range throughout. For any formulas that we want to use, we can use that range for that formula. So what we're going to do is we're going to name this range here, and apparently we're going to name it all the way down to 10. So we highlight the range that we want to name, and then we go to the formulas tab, and there is a thing there called define name, and then you're just going to enter the name that you want to call it, and I think it calls it shipping. Hold on, maybe I should have made this smaller so I could see. I think it's called ship ship name or something like that, or ship range. That's it. So that's going to be our shipping range. And now, whenever I want to, I can refer to this as the shipping range. And the shipping range is found in the shipping table. So I can now refer to that when I go to my next bit of work. So I'm pretty sure that they wanted us to call it ship range. Name manager. If you ever add more data to your spreadsheet, you can easily check using name manager. Okay, so apparently that would be there. If you can you can see what names you've got and where they are. And so we have a name range that we've done, which is ship range. So that's what I've called it. Now let's go to the total. I should be able to see that here too. So this is applying, ship range is applying even though I'm in a different worksheet, but I'm in the same spreadsheet, but in a different worksheet. Okay, so let's go and look at the next little bit of what we need to do here. We're going to do something here. So the shipping option is going to be determined, or the shipping cost is going to be determined by by pulling down that menu. And it looks like I already written that, or somebody else. Create a data validation drop down. So we're going to do this in E6. Here, instead of having standard, we're going to do data validation. Now, standard doesn't work, right? If we look back in this thing here, it's not. It is standard, but it's spelled differently. It's spelled standard with an A in it, not like this. Probably if we spelled that right, something might happen. Yeah, so it will work for standard, but it doesn't work. So this is a way of making sure that we're doing our spelling correct and things like that. We have a data validation range, which allows the user to pull down. There's the instructions, but allows the user to pull down a menu to find things. So I don't have to type standard in here. I'm going to pull up the standard and the 3-day and the 2-day from the previous worksheet. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to, as it says here, we're going to do a data validation command, and that is found in the data tab. So make sure I'm highlighting in the place where I want to do this, the data tab. Then I should be able to find here somewhere data validation. Where did you go? Hold on. Hold on. Where are you? So a dialog box should come down. There should be a data validation command. You know what? It's probably. I'm gonna stop this. Unbelievable. Did this like a second ago.